What's going on, everybody? We are live. Sharnice and I in two different locations. I'm in Houston, Texas right now, doing some good stuff with some good friends of mine down here for my Real Shit Real Estate podcast. I got my man Money Madu in the house as well. Sharnice is down in Chicago.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Thank you guys for joining us. We definitely going to wait a few minutes to let a few more of you guys jump in. We got a fire live tonight. Man, this brother that's coming on here, he's going to be talking about some good jams with partnerships and filling parks and just the whole nine. Super excited about tonight's live.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited, man. Everybody jumping on. I know this is different for you guys, seeing Sharnice and I in two different locations. But again, I had to come down here, take care of some business, and Sharnice is representing. You guys see, I don't even have my mobile home elite attire on, but we're gonna definitely make this thing work. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure we give you guys the value that you guys always get every week, and we're super excited to have this king on. Like Sharnice said, man, I can't wait to dive into this one, man.
Yes. Yeah, super excited. I'm putting it on IG now because I want to get as many people on this live. So, man, this is definitely the live that everybody wants to jump on.
Yes. So here's the thing, guys. We always ask, make sure you share this live with somebody. I see Gabe was on here. What's up, Gabe? And then also, where y'all checking in from, right? What city and state are you checking in from? Drop in the comments. We want to see where you're checking in from. We always love it. I'm down in Houston right now, where it's good weather, and everything is open, which I love. I know, baby. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to rub it in your face.
Just rub it in because you down in Houston and we here in Chicago, and I got to put on my winter coat and my hats and all that. That's cool. It's all good.
Baby, I'll be back tomorrow. All right? I'm gonna be cold.
It's all good. But yes, okay, cool. So now I'm full attention now. I had to put it on IG because again, I want to get as many people on here as I can. So man, shout out everybody in the comments. We got a few.
Yes, I see Patina.
Yeah.
See Patina. What's up? I'm in your city, Patina. Who else we got on here? Chandrell, she from Texas. T Sloan, what's up, T Sloan? Oh man, that's my boy right there, Larry. Oh man, I love it, man. So yeah, we got a special guest tonight. I'm excited. Listen, I want y'all to go ahead. We gotta hype it up. We gotta hype it up. I want y'all to put Go Maurice in the comments. I want to see Go Maurice in the comments, man. We gotta bring this king on because y'all about to learn some stuff. Listen, we haven't even talked about this yet. So that's why I'm super excited to hear what's going on.
Yeah, this is the exclusive of the exclusive that we bringing y'all tonight. So we super excited about it. So really quick, so babe, you doing it from your end, right? With the comments and everything.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Cool.
You ready? You ready to bring the king on? You ready, baby? You ready to bring him on?
Yeah, let's go. We only got so much time.
I love all of this.
Hold on. What's
going on?
What's up, Maurice? How you feeling, King?
I'm good. And yourself?
Good.
Bless. I'm gonna see how we can spotlight you, man. Let's see. There we go.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was gonna tell you, like, put Maurice on the spotlight. It's his show tonight.
What's up?
Hey,
how y'all doing?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
No, definitely. Thanks for having me. Definitely, it's good to be here. Good to get into some stuff with y'all.
Of course, yes.
I love
We're gonna dive right into it. So definitely, we know a little bit about you, Maurice, but for those who don't, let us know who Maurice is. Let us know where you're checking in from, your location, and kind of a little bit of a background on, what you do.
Yeah. So I am I'm from Baltimore, but I lived in New York for the last 7 years. 2 years I lived in New Orleans.
Okay.
So, but I'm back. I'm back in cold weather. So I'm back in New York.
You feel it, right? You understand?
It's sad. It's funny. I was looking at Byron's Instagram, and I'm like, oh, he out having a good old time, and we like got to be in a house by
Right,
9.
freezing. Right, we freezing, Maurice. See, you feel the pain.
Right. But so my background is in marketing. Most of my career has been in PR, in marketing. For like the last 7 years, I spent a lot of time in marketing. And recently, in this like last years, when I've kind of like pivoted into this kind of field, which I feel like stumbled upon a gold mine.
Yeah, I
So
love it.
but definitely a Baltimore boy. I always give New York a lot of prop, but I definitely belong to Baltimore though.
I love it.
I love it, man. No, that's so dope, man. And again, like I love the fact that you've been, like I said, New Orleans, right, New York, and
Yeah,
then you're
yeah.
based in Baltimore. So well traveled. I love it. Love
Right,
it.
right, right.
So, man, tell the people how did you get introduced to mobile home investing?
So I was living in New Orleans, and I was working in marketing. I was working a marketing job, and I started listening to like Bigger Pockets. I knew I was interested in like getting into real estate. I didn't know how or exactly what part of real estate I was going to end up in, but I was like, I want to get into real estate. So every day I was listening to Bigger Pockets. I was like, I already like had my plan together. I knew what I was going to do. I knew like the kind of like duplex that I was going to end up buying in New Orleans. And one day I heard an episode, and it was about mobile homes. And I just, I just kind of was like intrigued by it, like what, like the trailer parks, you know what I mean? Like literally, that's what I'm like, the trailers, and I'm like, being in Baltimore is an area in like on like kind of like the outskirts of Baltimore that we knew people lived in like the trailer homes, and you kind of like you'd never like associate it with being clean or being like anything that you would want to be like attached to. So I kind of like just started doing some research into it, and I'm just like, I just started seeing it's like this different world, you know what I mean, of like actual like people making it an actual business, and they don't all look the way that I, was used to seeing them look, whereas like beat down and and just like a mess. And so I really kind of just I purchased books, and I started like reading. I really just like started like going hard, and that's kind of literally how I stumbled into like really doing mobile homes. Which
Wow.
was literally like random. Literally, it was random. A random day, listening to Bigger Pockets, heard them say a mobile home, and I'm like, especially the guy was saying. I remember the guy was saying like, you can buy a mobile home for like $3,000. He was like, and I'm like, I can afford $3,000. And like, I was like, I can, And then it just kind of like turned into like this thing of me like chasing, you know what I mean? And here I am like a good year later, you know what I mean? And like have kind of carved out my own lane doing it.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. What I love about it is that it sounds so similar to our story, right? Because we discovered the same thing, a similar podcast episode from Bigger Pockets, listened to it, and same thing. I heard the low cost, less than 5,000. I was sold, just how you heard 3,000, right? So
yeah. Actually, I think y'all were the second kind of like really like one of the second podcasts somewhere that I had heard about like mobile homes. I remember like hearing y'all story. I will never forget. I was on my way to the gym, hearing y'all story. I remember like stopping and like listening in the car. Like right before you going in and work out and you finishing the little bit of the episode. And I remember listening. I remember like, you know what I mean? Like really like, and for me it was also too this like extra thing of like seeing like. Because to me, like seeing black people do it too, you know what I mean? Like seeing like a black couple doing it, I was like, oh, like this added level of like, oh, okay, I might be able to do this. You know what I mean? Like I might be able to pull this off. And so it was definitely y'all was definitely up there when I one of the couples that I saw doing this up there.
Wow.
Oh man, I love it. Hey, shout out Lisa Martin. She said, "So proud of you,
That's my mother.
I love it. Hey, mom, how you doing? Hey, I love the people with them. Hey, mom, y'all come on here. Y'all make the episode so
Right.
much better.
Yes, it's crazy. Every week, everybody we have on there, the support from y'all moms and grandmas and aunties, cuz the family support is so beautiful. I love to see it. So,
Yes,
um, always helps to see other
I
people
love
who
it.
look like us doing it. That's amazing.
I agree.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna
That's
dive right
dope.
in. So what the people are here for, right? They want to talk about mobile homes. They want to talk about what they saw us post on the flyer. So let's just jump right into it, Maurice. So we know you have been doing some amazing things, creating some great partnerships with park owners and being able to fill their lots. And then you also negotiated 20% on lot rent on each of the mobile homes that you bring in. So talk about that. Like walk us through how you created that partnership and then talk about that negotiation factor. Like how did you even get to that negotiation?
So I was spending, like most of us who get into our mobile homes or even, stick bills, whatever, we drive for dollars. And I was spending a lot of time doing that. And it was a little easier for me to do it when I lived in New Orleans and, I had a car and I could drive, and hit parks up day to day. And that was something that I was doing, but I was getting to a place where it was like I felt like I was being like stonewalled by a lot of the park managers. Some of them didn't necessarily understand what you were trying to do. Some of them had been burned before. Some of them just kind of they just didn't trust the situation. And so for me, it was like I had to sit back and kind of figure out how could I still stay in this business and do what I'm doing, but also to do it to fit the kind of lifestyle that I like, and which one of the things is I love traveling. I really do. I travel a lot internationally. Some states I haven't even been to, but but I travel a lot internationally. And so for me, it was just like, how can I merge those two components of one, still loving to do mobile homes, and also to not necessarily um, having the rapport with some of the managers that were in my area. And also too, I'm a big person like this, I feel like there's two types of people. There's the, when you go out to dinner, if something's wrong, there's the, can I talk to your manager? And there's the, I'm calling corporate. I'm more of the, I'm calling corporate guy. So for me, it was like, I don't even want to talk to the managers anymore. I want to talk to your boss. I want to talk to the person that owns the park. And so for me, strategically, that's what I started doing. I started reaching out to park owners, and I started saying like, hey, listen, I can do A, B, and C for you. And a lot of the park owners were receptive. And when the park owner is receptive, the park manager has no choice but to fall in line because the boss has spoken. And so for me, that was my strategy. My
Facts,
strategy
facts.
was always going to the boss, not to the manager. And so for me, and so that's what happened. And so I found myself working with a lot of park owners who were coming new into the business. And a lot of them did not necessarily, for them, this is an investment vehicle. I have this conversation sometimes with my friends where I'm saying that, the same way, no matter kind of like what you invest in, it's an investment vehicle. And that doesn't mean that every day they want to be involved in that vehicle. You know what I mean? They just know that they are going to get a return on their money by putting their money here. You know what I mean? And so for me, it was utilizing that and to build relationships with these park owners to say, hey, listen, I have experience doing A, B, and C. Let me bring homes into your park. And, I can speak for that, especially like the last park that I'm working with, which is is an area in Pennsylvania called like New Galilee. And the park owner is, newly purchased this park. I mean, weird. It was literally like the mob. I was sitting in the back seat with him, as he was negotiating how much he was going to pay for this park. It was interesting for me to see like firsthand, and he negotiated the price of the park. I said, listen, what I can do is I will definitely help you infill this park. But the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if I'm eating also too on the back end. And so I will spend my time buying the mobile homes and finding them free as well, and getting them moved into the park, building those relationships that he doesn't have. And he doesn't have the experience with rehabbing and all that stuff. And so for me, it was like, I can go to many park owners, you know, and get a space in their park. But if you want me to dedicate myself to filling your park, I'm going to have to eat on both hands. And so that was really what we talked. I mean, that was just what it is. It's like just one of those things where you got to ask for what you want, and you got to be willing to walk away if they don't give it to you, you know. And for me, I was willing to say, like, I'm not going to do this because it is a lot of work, you know. And so right now I am at 4 homes of the 6 that I have to. I was the 6 that I was guaranteed. And those homes, every home, I get 20% off of those homes, off of the lot rent, on top of the fact that I own the homes.
Wow.
And so I'm getting those monthly payments for that. So yeah.
Wow.
Strategy.
Yeah, just said a mouthful. So I hope everybody on here has been taking some type of notes. One, he said he's not even talking to the manager. He said, I'm a corporate guy. I'm going straight to the corporate. Let me talk to the owners, the people who really matter. Because once you talk to them and you negotiate with them, the park manager is Trump. They have no right but to go ahead and be like, okay, hey, you can go ahead and do what you want to do because I've already talked to the owner. So, man, that's amazing.
Right. And you'll see, you know, I mean, you get a little pushback sometimes from the park manager. I mean, I've had conversations with park owners who have said that I didn't even know that my park manager is like stonewalling investors, because for them, listen, we got to understand that everybody has a different strategy in this. A park owner is talking about my overall return on investment here. This is like, you know, this is like I'm putting my money in this as an investment. A park manager is working a job, you know, and it's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying we got to recognize that people have different strategies in this. And if you go to the park owner, you know, most times and say like, listen, you know, I'm trying to get in here and reasonably, you know, and they feel like that. I mean, because oftentimes these parks have vacant lots everywhere. You know, a lot of them, you know, have vacant lots. I mean, they don't know what to do, you know, and the park owners aren't necessarily interested in shelling money back to back to these mobile homes after they already have such a large investment in the park.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And then the next thing you said was that when it came to the negotiation, you just asked for it, right? You said sometimes you got to just ask for something. You got to be asked for something that you're scared to ask about it, and be okay with walking away if you don't get the results. And that's what we got. 78 people on here. A lot of us, we get stuck in, oh, we don't know what to ask, or how should we? Just ask. Just ask, see the results, and if you don't get the results that you like, move on. Move on to the next one. Move on to the next part.
Right. Because they out there, and I mean, and they are looking for you. Yeah. I promise you, they look. I can't tell you how often I'm having inboxes from park owners and say, "Hey, I have a park here. You know, I have this park where I just bought this park, and I have these homes. What can we do? How can we work together?" They out there. You just got to be willing to, you know, speak up. You know.
I love it.
It's not. Yeah.
Dude, that's when I tell you, you're talking about a whole new strategy for people to actually come. I mean, like you see the comments, right? You see what we're talking about. And I think that, you know, one thing I love how you were able to leverage, right? You like you saying, like, well, listen, bro, I know I'm helping you, but at the same time, if you're not right, I got to eat on this too, you know. So my question to you, right? So you essentially buying a home, right? You moving into their lot, potentially rehabbing, and even able to sell on rent or rent to own. So like, just walk us through one of those deals that really, you know, that you did from initial purchase to profit.
Okay, I actually literally, so I have a deal analysis calculator that I have to plug in everything before I even agree to be involved in the deal, because it got to make sense for your time and your money. I mean, we all are here to make money nonetheless, you know. So the most recent one, the purchase price was for the most recent one, the purchase price was for $4,300. Sorry, wrong one. The most recent one was actually free. That one was free. It was already in the mobile home park. It was already free. It was like the park owners just didn't want to deal with it. For the rehab cost, it was $3,600. The total on that rehab was literally just $3,600. The lot rent is $300. The sales term on that was 60 months. The move-in fee was $3,000. Monthly payments is $750. So the total profit on that was $21,000. And that was on literally off of something that was, and granted, sometimes I have to remind people, we know this, but when we say the total profit was 21, that was over the term of, the 60 months. But for something that you only put $3,600 into for rehab, you can't really be upset about that. But and so some of them are just, I've had some where it's like the park, there's no homes in that specific lot, and so you're moving in a home into that lot. One of them was like $3,000 to move the home. The person was giving a home away for free, $3,000 to move the home, and the lot rent was like $250. And generally, the park owner is giving me like 3 months of unpaid lot rent just to get the home up to standards. My thing is, and also to another nugget is, you can negotiate. Please negotiate the term of how many months you want to get for free for this home. Now, just because you give me 3 months, don't mean that it's going to take me 3 months to get that house together, because I want it together in less than a month if possible, and still going to chill out for these 2 months. You know what I mean? Paying no lot rent, but so it really is just about like how you look at the game and how you strategize. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow, bro. When I tell you, you just laid. First of all y'all, did y'all just digest the game that Maurice just dropped on y'all? Right? You talking about? I mean, we talk about individual mobile home investing, right? We give the games. We talk about wholesaling, but your strategy is so unique, and it's something where, for one, you got equity, bro. That's
right,
what I love. Like, you got equity. Like, we not even talking about that, right? Equity.
right,
So
right.
that's why I'm telling everybody how important this was. And then, when we saw your story and everything, what I love about these, this ain't rehearsed. This is our first time having a conversation with Maurice.
First time.
Blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, first time.
I love it.
You see,
Yeah.
Chandrell said, bruh.
Yeah,
Bruh.
they love it, because the thing is, now you're opening up our audience mindset to know, like, yes, you can do the individual deals, that's cool, but now let's talk about equity. Let's talk about creating partnerships with these park owners, because they need us as investors in order to fill these lots. Like Maurice said, majority of these parks, they have 10 plus, empty lots that they're not doing anything with. And half of the park owners, like he said, is brand new. They don't really know what to do with the park, because they just look at it as just a simple investment. So that's when we come in as investors. Again, we talking about it, partner up, talk about negotiation, talk about getting some potential percentages on the lot rent in the end, because that's what really matters. In the end, equity is what matters.
That's right. And you also to show the park owner that you have a different level kind of skin in the game. You know what I mean? If I'm going in and it's another, Joe Schmo, whoever, investor, and he's trying to get into the same park, and the park is only interested in one investor. They only want to work on one investor. Mm-hmm. You set yourself up to show this park owner that I got equity in this. I got skin in the game. You know what I mean? Like, I literally will go above and beyond. And this is what I say to when I talk to my park owners, I'll say, when we first have our first conversation and they first tell me about the houses they have and they send over images, I say, I'm the type of person, like, you send me the information, we discuss what could make sense for both of us, and I can be on a flight tomorrow. And to get out there to the park. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've literally have been like, I gotta fly to North Carolina this week. You know what I mean? Or like I gotta fly here this week just because, I gotta get out here. I gotta meet. I mean, and honestly, it blows some of these park owners' mind that, like, I flew from New York to Kansas, or you know what I mean? Like literally, like some of them are literally like, so you literally just got here? I'm like, so the last place that I was at, I was in, it was like an hour away from, I can't think of the spot in North Carolina that everybody go to the beach. My mind is so crazy. I can't think of it, but it was like an hour away from there. And the guy is like, "You literally flew from New York to there and then drove here?" I'm like, "Yes, I will. I have what gold membership with Enterprise." You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I'll rent a car sometimes for just one day, and do my thing at the park, see what things are looking like. And then I'm, hitting back. And even when I do that also too, another tip is I'm always scouting for handymen. I'm always, seeing what kind of handymen are in the area, kind of seeing what their price points are, just so if this is escalated through, I can already be prepared to say like, listen, I'm ready to start working on Monday, and park owners appreciate that as well.
Wow, man. I mean, listen, Maurice, I think Shonda said it right. She said, right, you're showing them that you're willing to eat your own cooking. And like you
That's
said,
right.
bro, like it's a different people want to do business with people who are willing to step outside the box. They want to do
Right.
business with people that's just going above and beyond. And that's what you're showing. Like, yo, listen, I'm serious. So it's like
Right.
they know that you all about business, man. Is this it right here? Is
Yes,
is
Myrtle
that
Beach.
is that it right
Yes,
there?
it's
Okay.
Myrtle
Myrtle
Beach.
Beach.
Yeah, so I flew into Myrtle Beach and then I drove an hour away to like this, little town where the person owned a mobile home park. So yeah, and also too for me, it's like I get to go to Myrtle Beach. I ain't never been to Myrtle Beach, where it was like, for me, I love traveling too. So I always look at it like that. That this is an ability for me to go to different places and try different foods, and like I do all of that when I go to these places as well.
Wow. So while we're on the topic of
Wow.
traveling, so let's go ahead and jump into, because we know you say you invest now in 6 states. So talk about how important it is to leverage other markets outside of your home state. Because I feel like a lot of individuals just get kind of stuck where, like, we're from Chicago, like, oh, I only want to invest in Chicago. I don't know any other market. So talk about the importance of going outside of your market, especially with mobile home investing, and how successful that has been for you.
Right. I think that it's just important for people to kind of realize that there are other markets that are, especially me talking about New York, there are markets that are cheaper than what your market is. There are some places where you can go and get $1,000. I mean, and that could be on a high end in some places. $1,000 mobile homes. If you walk somewhere with $5,000, you can go in some places and buy 5 mobile homes. You know what I mean? Like, and so for me, it was always this. It was always understanding what the strategy is. I've never not been clear on what the strategy was. You know what I mean? It's always, and I think also too, a lot of that comes from just my marketing background as well, because I'm a strategic planner. I'm a strategic marketer. I'm always thinking about the strategy, the long-term goal. How do we get there, and how do we maximize ourselves on each level? So I think that it's just important to venture out, to see what's going on, to see what's happening in Chicago, to see what's going on in Indiana, to see what's going on in Georgia, to see what's happening in Texas, and kind of also utilizing a lot of these groups to kind of make connections with different investors. The one thing I've learned is you got to be, really careful about the investors that you get in, like they say, that like you lay in bed with, because everybody might not be on the same type of work at a level that you are. Like, I can't really just team up with somebody that kind of just wants to know marketplace all day. You know what I mean? Like, I like to get going and get to where I need to be at and be on the ground and check things out. So I think that it's just important to look outside of the sphere in the area that you are in, even if it's like 100 miles away, 50 miles away. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to do that if you want to. When you think about how many investors invest in homes and places that they've never even been to, like never even been to these places, And for me, that is how I looked at it. It's kind of like, how do I get what I want in a place like Chicago, or a place like Georgia, you know what I mean? Or a place like Delaware, which is not far from me, or Louisiana. How do I still have those deals and not live there? You know what I mean? And so for me, that has been what I've worked towards, and that's what I've been working towards. And so I just would encourage anybody to just like get out there outside of where you at, outside of where you live at, outside of the area, you know. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't research. You should definitely research and understand what that market can bear. You should understand what your end goals are. Of course, I have a minimum that I'm unwilling to, you know, to take a deal on, you know, so you got to know what your number is and what makes sense for you, but also to know that there are other deals. If it's not in your backyard, it's in somebody else's.
Yes, I love that. Thank you.
Wow, man. I'm talking
No.
about gems, gems. Listen, man, if you on here and you are taking so much knowledge. I want you to go and put the fire sign. I want you to drop the gems, and I want you to put Go Maurice in the comments, because when I tell you this, King, Maurice, this is a game changer. Like, you know, this is live right now, but once it's aired, so many people are going to be like, wow, mind blown. Because I'm listening, and it's like, yo, I love this, man. I love how you know, you took something you learned and just took it to the next level. It's incredible, bro.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely been interesting, because it's like, you know, it's like one of those,
So,
sometimes I have those moments when I'm like, yeah, okay, I got it.
oh man, I love it. I love it. So I think now, you know, I think this is very important. We always ask this question because we always want to stress the importance of relationships, right? So how
Mhm.
important was the relationship piece, you know, in your investing journey?
Very important. I mean, just outside of the business aspect of it, but also to the likability aspect of it. I mean, being liked can take you places that, you know, knowledge might not be able to always take you, you know. And so for me, I've always tried to, you know, even just in business and just in life, but position myself to be somebody that like is likable, you know, that's like. So a lot of these mobile home owners that I reach out to and that I connect to, literally just like kind of like vibe with me, like we just vibe out, and it's like for me, it's like they understand that, you know, um, and actually it's funny because you'll get that a lot where they say like, I definitely want to make sure that you're okay. Like I want to, like, I know that you know what I mean? Like we're going to do this, but I want to make sure that like this works for you as well, you know, and a lot of that comes with the likability factor. My most recent mobile home park owner that I'm working with was because I work with a park owner in Georgia that and you know they have you know communities, you know what I mean, and he told a guy in Georgia that, you know, like Maurice did a home for us here, and like he did really well with it, and the guy, he sent me a message, and like that was kind of just like how this blossomed. But it's really important to build those relationships, to follow through on those relationships, to check in. You know, I even check in with the park managers that I've worked with, you know what I mean, kind of like sending them messages, hey, making sure everything is going on with the tenants that work there, you know what I mean, that we have in. And those relationships really parlay into a park owner or a park manager reaching out to you and say, hey, I have these homes, or I have this, you know what I mean, I'm looking for. I have no doubt that the park owner that I'm working with right now, I have no doubt when he's looking to buy his next park, he'll be like, Maurice, you want to come to the table with me on this? You know what I mean? Like I have no doubt that he knows absolutely how I work. You know what I mean? Like absolutely, he knows how I work, and he'll reach out and say, "Hey, I saw that you just did this and this." We literally have like a spreadsheet of stuff. Like, "Hey, I'm putting this in here. I'm doing." You know what I mean? Like, so I have no doubt. But it all comes to harvesting those relationships and being about your word and following through. That's just that. I mean.
Wow, man, that's phenomenal, bro.
Yeah, so for everybody that's on here, so you know, this like I think we've done like close to maybe 8, 9 of these, and every week, all of our guests, we all say the same thing. Relationships is key. Everybody who comes on here and they talk about their success is based on the relationships that has been built. Same thing for Byron and I. We wouldn't have the 4 mobile home parks that we have if we didn't build the relationships that needed to be built in order to partner up and, you know, partner up with other park owners who have been in the business and who can take us under their wing and teach us even further outside of the individual deals. And that's the same thing that you're doing right now, Maurice. So kudos to you. Yes.
And shout out to y'all. Let me say that. Hear you say that again. For mobile home parks, not home. I love it. I love everything about it.
Thank you. So yes, getting back to it, Maurice. So I know we always have a lot of new investors on here. So people are just starting out in mobile home investing. What's some key advice that you can give someone who may be scared to talk to the owners or even scared to talk to the park managers or scared to build those relationships? Like, what's something you can tell them to step outside of their comfort zone to go ahead and get to it for 2021?
Yeah. I like live by this thing in my mind. It's like sink or swim. You know what I mean? Like literally, like sink or swim. Like because the reality is, oftentimes your comfortability, your lifestyle, all of this, it can depend on whether you decide to sink or swim. Whether you decide that I am going to get on this phone and make this call, or if I'm just going to sit at home and be scared. You know, for me, it's also to this thing of getting outside of yourself because I know sometimes, especially when we talk about like us as Black folks, you know, we often walk because I'm guilty of it. I would walk into parks. And I'm like, I already know that they don't even want to be bothered with me. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, I'm already telling myself that, like, you know, this Black guy, man, under here I have dreads, but Black guy with dreads walking up, I already know they want no parts of this. You know, and oftentimes it was just quite the contrary. You know what I mean? And so for me, it's just this thing of getting out of your head. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you literally have just got to get out of your head and acknowledge the stories that you're telling yourself, because oftentimes they literally are stories. We are making up stories about what somebody in the office is going to think of you, is going to say of you. You literally are telling yourself an entire story to protect yourself. And oftentimes it is at the detriment of your career, of everything that you are gunning for. So for me, it's always just about just do it. Just go, like, you know, look outside of yourself, push through, make the call, drive by, whatever, do whatever you got to do to get, you know what I mean, like what you need. Really, that's really what I live by. It's like really just getting up and going to get it, you know, because you know, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you.
And that's 100 facts. I love it.
I literally just had a conversation with one of my friends not long ago, and I was like, "Listen, I'm sending a smoke signal right now. They ain't coming to help you. You know what I mean? Help is not on the way. You know what I mean? Like I just want you to know right now that you are the help.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it done, it won't get done. You know what I mean? And so for me, that is how I approach all of those situations. Is if I don't walk in here, if I don't make the call, if I don't do whatever that is, it's not gonna get done. You know what I mean? And now I'm one of those people that I'll beat myself up about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, and so I gotta just push through. I gotta go, and I gotta do what I gotta do. But also I'll say to people, you know, just mentally write down what you want to do. Write down what your goals are. You know what I mean? And everybody, my friends, we talk about this all the time. Everybody is not meant to quit their job tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I think sometimes we live in this society that, you know, shames people that work, and, you know, and everybody should be running a business. And that's not the reality every day. If you was going to sit at home and watch the Golden Girls for 8 hours, you should probably be working a 9 to 5, making money, as opposed to watching the Golden Girls for 8 hours. You know what I mean? But you can use that money to build your business if that's what you so decide. It's really just about writing your goals down, being clear on what your intentions are, and going for it. Really, this is really.
Yes, I love it.
No, that's a fact, man. Man, listen, bro. When I tell you, man, you on here just dropping heat, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, talking about, and one thing I love everybody who comes on here, because everybody, I want you guys to take the mindset that everyone has, right? Right? The mindset. And Maurice, you know, not only just displaying the confidence, right? But his mind, but Maurice, real quick, I know I'm gonna ask you another question, but
Uh-huh.
how much time do you dedicate really, you know, enhancing, you know, when it comes to mindset and like personal development?
Oh, a lot of time. I mean, whether it's reading, whether it's listening to like podcasts, whether it's, you know, therapy, you know what I mean? Like all of those are components, you know what I mean, that go into putting you in a space, because every day we don't all wake up ready to go and take on a world. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the truth of the matter. Well, let me just speak for myself. Every day I don't wake up, ready to just go take on a world. But, I spend a lot of time, dedicating time to my mental health, dedicating time to my craft. You know what I mean? It requires money. It requires all of those factors to make sure that you are getting the best out of yourself. You know what I mean? And seeing all of the fruit that you want. So it requires time.
No, I love it, man. I definitely love it. So, my question would be, somebody new on here and they want to get in mobile home investing. What recommendations would you make, if, like, even to take our program or so? Like, what would you, tell them as far as, investing in education?
Yeah, I definitely would have. I definitely. And listen, I have taken another program. I will not say that program's name or anybody associated with it, but I have taken another one before. And I actually, when I took yours, I even said that. Well, I had already taken one, so I had already kind of know. I would definitely encourage people to take your program, to make sure that they subscribe to your Facebook. And really, personal development is your responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility. Personal development is your responsibility, and it comes with a cost. You know what I mean? Like, you have to put money back into yourself. You have to invest time. You have to invest money. You have to invest all of that in order to be in a space to be able to operate in different areas, like business. And so I definitely would agree. I definitely think that people should take the program. I think that people should listen to podcasts. People should just do your own due diligence, the same way that you would do for a mobile home or anything else like that. Do your own due diligence, and also too, you will never know it all. You will never know it all. Like, we all have probably been in a space where we suffer from analysis paralysis, where like we just don't want to make any decisions because we trying to figure. You will never know it all. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? Do enough work and then just get to work. Really, you know what I mean? And so yeah, that requires you to, to invest in yourself. Definitely.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Sharnice, you gonna say something? So, I mean, honestly, man, when I tell y'all, I mean, this interview is so dope, bro. Like, I want to get to some questions, right? Because you talked about the importance of personal development, and that
Mhm.
right there is key, right? Mind right, money right, and once you get your mind right,
Right.
then you can get to your money right. So I'm gonna actually
Right.
find some questions. I've seen a few people have some questions for you, and man, I think that we definitely eager to hear. So let me see what one of the first ones. Man, Maurice,
Babe,
bro, you blew my mind on this. It's like every week. Go ahead.
Byron, you're not gonna drop the special link?
Oops. I think I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My connection bad. Say it again, babe.
I said, you're not gonna drop the special link?
Oh, you right. You right. You right. I
You
thought
jump
about it. Let me.
in, we remember. So I'll go ahead and say,
I'm moving too fast.
yeah, you moving too fast. So again, we just talked about our program and how you should educate yourself and really, get inside of a community of like-minded individuals who are doing mobile home investing across the United States. So for those of you who follow us on Instagram, you know that we have been doing a Christmas special where we were doing the course for $150. So Byron and I decided to extend that through the new year. So you can still today get that course, man. Shout out Chandrell. Thank you so much, love. Yes, get the course. Yes, you can still get the course today for $150. Okay, so Byron, he just went out. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. If he doesn't, okay, cool. He just dropped the link. So definitely take advantage. Again, $150. Now, once we get to 2021, all these good prices y'all been saying, that's no more. So don't come in my DM January 3rd, like, oh, Sharniza. No, $150 now. So you want to take advantage.
Nice,
It's
nice.
just
I
like,
love it. I see it.
Tina.
Oh man. So yeah, the link is in there. I'm gonna drop it a few times. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the question. I think let's see. Actually, Sarita had asked this. Shout out Sarita. What's up, Queen?
What's up? We got to get you on here too.
Yes. So she asked you, do you use a property manager?
no. So I do all of the, as far as when we doing all of the infilling and stuff. Oftentimes I am that I become the point person. You know, the park owners rely on what I'm saying, and also too, you got to take into account. You know, when we talk about, let's say that I was just buying a mobile home, just like one home inside of a park. Remember, I would still have to kind of do, if I needed rehab, I would still have to do the rehab. I would still have to kind of like outsource and find a tenant and stuff like that. Instead, but also too, you will always have the shadow of the park manager over your back. In most cases, the park owner has relinquished control to say, I trust that you, because you have such an interest in this, I trust that you have did your due diligence and have kind of screened this tenant um, before bringing them into the park. So yeah, no.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. Man, that's the. Let's see. Brian says, how long have you been into mobile homes or real estate in general?
A year, 1 year.
Wow.
I'm still really still like a baby though.
Wow.
Killing it for a year though. Look at everything you
Wow.
in 1 year. We say your life can change in 1 year. That's so powerful.
Yeah, it's funny because I
Yes,
thought
man.
about
I
this
love it.
because my when I was living in New Orleans, I left my actual last marketing job November 20th of like last year, and so that's how I know it's been a year because listen, I would be in the office kind of just like what I mean, like doing research and reading and you know what I mean, like listening to podcasts with my earphones in my ear, but my phone like cover it, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a year of just straight beasting.
Wow. Okay, cool. I think Byron froze and he handling the question.
That's stupid. Let me get another question. All
Did
right.
you get the
Yeah, I'm on a hot spot, guys. So y'all gotta bear with me,
Byron
man.
froze? I think let me
Huh?
see if I can. Oh, okay, you got it. All right, cool. Go ahead. So you say
So the
tips
tips
on
on building
building.
trust with owners or the park managers.
Just do what you say that you're gonna do. Honestly, you know what I mean. Like if whether it's just buying a home and rehabbing a home and leaving the home in the park, buy the home, rehab the home, leave the home in the park. You know, some investors and I'm sure we've all encountered this. Will buy the home, rehab the home, and let a person come and buy the home and take the home out of the park. That's not how we build those like relationships. We do what we say we're going to do, and we stand firm in. And like I said, reach out to your owners and your park managers just to kind of make sure that the people who you've entrusted with them, the tenants that you've put there, are actually living up to the park standards and park rules.
Nice, nice, man. This has been crazy, man. Sharnice, if you want to handle over some of the questions, so I actually got to get ready. I'm over here with my man. We from IG. Make sure y'all follow Money Madu. I actually had to jump on his Black Sea Summit and do a webinar right after this at 8 o'clock. So Sharnice, if you want to handle some questions, or Maurice, when I tell you thank you from the bottom of your heart, my heart came
No, for
like
sure.
you came on here, bro, and this is a game changer. This is a game changer for real, man. I mean, what you dropped this episode, I think we have some dope episodes, but I think this is one that's gonna be one of
Right.
the highest viewed episodes.
Mhm.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah,
But I definitely appreciate y'all for having me for sure.
For sure, for sure. Byron, I think we only had like one more question. So
Here, right here. Here we go. It says, do you offer scripts for speaking to park managers? I think that's a question for us. We do it, of
Yeah, I think
course.
that's
We
it.
do.
Yeah, so we do, but even outside of the script, it's kind of like Maurice talked about. Like it's kind of going to be based on your own personality as well. Like you got to be willing to just put yourself out there and not be afraid to just go and ask for what you're looking for, right? So definitely, Shonda, if you didn't watch this whole episode, I would definitely, once we hop off of here in a few minutes, I would definitely go and watch the replay because we talked about just getting outside of your comfort zone and really just asking the park manager and the owners, just really talking to them about what you're looking to do inside of the mobile home community.
Right.
Yes. So again, Byron just dropped that link again for $150. So man, shout out to Maurice. Maurice, thank you so much. Again, we definitely appreciate you on. And man, shout out everybody that's been on here watching. Again, I see a few people hopped on late. So yeah, normally if you're in the Facebook group, it normally show up right away. If you on YouTube, it's gonna be probably tomorrow morning. You'll see the replay, but again, it'll be on there for a long time. So you got plenty of time to watch it.
Man, I hate to get this one short, man. So I got to prep, but man, this was dope, man.
Yeah.
I thank you again, man. You know what I'm saying? And we definitely gonna be in contact, Maurice. You doing some phenomenal things out there, man. Keep going, King. Keep being a game changer.
Likewise. Definitely proud of y'all, and y'all have set the standard high, and I definitely appreciate that. We definitely look up to y'all, what y'all do. So y'all keep going.
So much. All right.
Y'all be good.
Thank you, man.
Right.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Thank you. Everybody else have a good night.
Have a blessed one.